Welcome to Talking Models. Today we're going to take a look at my arsenal for airbrushing. All these products are from Badger. I'm a big fan of Badger, not only for their warranty but their customer service. Ken over there is top notch. Everybody in shipping, repairs, everybody are just top notch. That is why Badger has earned my business. I have all their Badger line of paints, and also, as you can see, 2 of their compressors. This one has a quick story before we get going. This one here all of a sudden just kept running and running and running. So what I did is checked all my lines, all my fittings, checked everything. Wasn't working. Went down to my evaporator, my water catcher here, and just drained it. Nothing. Reached out to Ken, and he told me to send it in, so I did. Error was on my part. I did not empty the tank, and if you don't empty the tank, the water builds up and eventually it pops a hole in your compressor tank. That may or may not happen to me. Ken repaired it, put a new tank in, fixed everything, sent it back to me free of charge. I was in awe. Thank you, Ken. You rock. So what we're doing today is we're going to talk a little bit about airbrushes, compressors, and different things that I use to clean them out. So this here is the TC910 air compressor. Beautiful air compressor. You can put your brushes in here, or like myself, I just have a holder on my studio bench where I just put all the airbrushes in the little slots. You can see it has your gauge, and you can adjust with the top. You pull up the knob, turn it for your air compressor speed that you want, is not for your air pressure. And then of course you hook up your hose down into your airbrush. Now this compressor basically stores up the air in it, so it'll just fill the tank in between, and then you can just spray like crazy, and it doesn't turn on until it has to rebuild the air in the tank. So this is really my workhorse, and now that I have it repaired, I'll be able to use this again. And it's just a beautiful compressor. You get the hard shell case and the compressor itself. I would highly recommend this. Now this one over here is their TC908. Basically this compressor minus this case, and the big difference is this is an on-demand air compressor. So when you're spraying, it's going to run until you stop. Every time you spray, you're going to hear the noise of the motor and the compressor as it's going. Very quiet, very compact. You can put it right up on your bench, right next to you if you want. I still put them on the floor because my workbench sometimes gets overwhelmed, if you will. And this one definitely goes on the floor right next to me under my workbench, so I can just reach in, shut it off, turn it on. I recommend either one of these compressors. And I know there's others out there. You may be watching this saying, well, I use this one, I use this one. And that's fine. That's why there's so many different manufacturers, right? Like I said at the beginning, I'm a fan of Badgers, and they have earned my business. And I use these compressors exclusively for all my modeling needs. Next up, we're just going to talk about a couple of quick things here. This is a media airbrush cleaner. And basically I use this to clean out the airbrush. After I'm done painting something, I just put a little bit in there, and then I stir it up either with a Q-tip or a brush, and it's clean. This is from Vallejo Airbrush Flow, and I agree, it is an improver. In between colors, I spray a little bit of this through my airbrush, and basically what that does is keep the needle nice and moist so paint won't stick to it. And you use it in between. I'm out of the Badger one for this, so I've been using this, and I just gotta catch up and order me a Badger airflower, because they do make a difference. And the more you use that, the less paint sticking to your airbrush, and that's what we all want, right? Well, now we're going to talk just a bit about my arsenal of airbrushes. and how I think they're awesome. This is the new Badger 2020, and they just released this. It's in a black. You can see it's got a little hole there. You fill this up, nice big cup, and you obviously, when you put your finger on this, as you see, it can rest in the cup. To me, it gives me more stability. That's why I like it. Many of you in the hobby probably know of the Siltar 2020 airbrush. This one is just new design, bigger cup, and also it has a Teflon finish in here that prevents paint from building up in there and sticking to it, and it works. You can just pop your cap off. This is amazing for detail, fine detail airbrush. I'll bring these out, and you know, I found that even I can airbrush in eyes. I can airbrush especially for the wall hangers and quarter scales and all that stuff. This is perfect. You just load some paint up and spray away. The Siltar 2020, their new one in black with the big cup. Highly recommend this brush. This is a workhorse. It's been around forever. I remember the early, some of the Model Mania where David was using the 2020. Many artists still do. This is their new design, and I highly recommend it. A great workhorse, and I've not had anything stick to this or clog it up. Anything I spray, even the thicker Badger Freakflex paint, goes right through. You can put a little bit of extender, obviously, but using this airflow and that, it just keeps the needle nice, and it's designed for the paint not to stick. Highly recommend this one. Next up is their Vega Airbrush. I actually had gotten this one during Ken's birthday sale, and I'm here to tell you I'm so glad I did. This is my primary brush for spraying larger patterns or larger amounts and thicker paints. It has a bigger needle. You still have your big cup, and this Patriot is my go-to, like for spraying the Stylorez primer. This is what I use. Spraying again, if you have something, a big project, and you have a lot of painting, load this sucker up and you can really lay down a nice base coat. Very nice light brush, as you can see. Now, one of the things that's different on this one from the previous one is you'll see that to pull the needle out, you simply just have to unscrew this, take that off, loosen it, pull the needle out, clean it off, put it back in, and she's ready to go. Where this one, which I love, you just unscrew it here and you simply pull your needle out, put it back in, tighten it back up, and you're ready to go. That is huge. I wish that was available in this. I guess it's just laziness to where I want to just be able to tighten, pull it off. This I got to unscrew the cap. But a great base coating airbrush from Badger, the Patriot. My next one has been around too, and this is just their Badger from the Badger line, and it's just an amazing airbrush. You know, it's just a workhorse. Again, unscrew, pull the needle out, and it's just a beautiful, it's the Patriot. And I mean, just nice. I've added larger throttles on here, whatever you want to call it, airbrush, and they usually come lower. I had this because it's just so nice. Look at, just put it on, press down, pull back. I believe it gives me simply just much more control, and that's what you want, isn't it? You can see it's also got, it's a decent needle, so you can do fine detail work or larger spraying patterns. I've been reusing this a lot lately, and I really like it. So it's something you can look at and see if you like these brush, because I'm telling you, this is a awesome brush. And last but not least is my workhorse, the Chrome. I just love this airbrush. It feels right in my hand, and it's just awesome. Again, raised trigger. It's not open here. It's got the two nozzles on the side. More protection for your needle. It's just a beautiful brush. The chrome, you get a different cap, you get more of a metal cap. Again, the deep bowl. You can do so much, and this baby gets in for detail work. Very nice. And again, it's got the simple release of unscrewing, and then actually the chrome you have to take off. If they did this the other way, man, I love it. But this brush, you can't go wrong. It's a very universal brush. I've painted many models strictly with this. You know, all my detail, all my shading, my basic airbrushing. This is a workhorse. Their chrome airbrush. If you want a good brush that does a lot of things, I would suggest this one or the Renegade. This is a multi-purpose brush that does a lot of things for you. So that's a look today at what I use for painting my models in my studio. The Badger compressors, my array of airbrushes, of course my cleaning things that I use for the airbrushes. And airbrushes, if you take care of them, they're going to take care of you. I've had some of these for a while. I've had a couple duplicates because of the birthday sale, but these things will last forever, in my opinion, if you take care of them. It's like anything else, right? You don't change your oil in your car, you're going to have a problem. So that's what I recommend today, is these Badger products. I would reach out to Ken and tell him Troy sent you from Talking Models, and believe me, he will hook you up. He will take care of you. And that's it for today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, this is a great opportunity to subscribe to Talking Models and see different things, different videos of just talking models, painting tutorials, reviews. Everything is here. If you're a producer and you want your kit reviewed, reach out to me. You can email me at shadowcreations@gmail.com and I will get back to you. So thanks again. If you haven't subscribed, hit the button. All you that have been with me, awesome. I'm trying to get to 500, so help me out. So thanks again for stopping in today. And as always, may the Lord bless your day.